Many businesses are closed from the COVID-19 outbreak, but one place that's still open is the National Weather Service. Today, our Mike Augustyniak spoke with a meteorologist from the Twin Cities about what they're doing during this time and how they're preparing for severe weather season and flood season.
Todd Krause is the warning coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service office in Chanhassen. Good morning, Todd. Let's start with where the National Weather Service is today in a staffing perspective.
Weather Service, we're in good shape. We've got a lot of people at home teleworking. We've got some people at the office, but we're minimizing that as much as possible.
When it comes to telework, is that forecasters that are working from home? Is it more administrative tasks? How is that divvied up?
Yeah, it's especially administrative tasks, a lot of the training, variety of things that are being done remotely. About the only thing that we are doing at the office itself is the actual forecasting and warnings.
Can you explain to people who I'm sure many have never been inside a National Weather Service office, why is it important to have humans there as opposed to working remotely?
Our particular computer system is such that there's a massive wealth of information that comes in through those channels that can only be done at the office.
So it's really a fire hose of information that's almost impossible to transmit to somebody's house, right?
That is correct. And then you think around the country, while not everybody's going to have the same amount of bandwidth available to them. So it's just much better all the way around to be at the office where we have our main computer system tied in.
What else is taking place at the offices? Are weather balloon launches still going up?
Yeah, we're still doing weather balloon launches, of course, because that's part of the data that go into computer models, and so that's important. We're still doing forecasting. Some of the radar data that we may see online. There's much more radar data available only in-house, and so that's one of the other things that we're looking at.
So we're getting close to what may end up becoming a flood season, especially up in northern Minnesota, which is obviously a different office than the one here in the Twin Cities. But yesterday we had some rumbles of thunder in southern Minnesota. Is there any reason that people at home should be concerned when it comes to forecasting severe weather or flooding this season?
Not really, because our plans are such that if we are needed, if additional people are needed at the office, to assist with whatever flooding or severe weather or whatever might happen. Plans are in place for those of us that are teleworking, some of us to go to the office and do things that can't be done at home.
Todd, let's go to a worst case scenario because we're thinking about the same thing here at Channel 4. What happens if somebody at the Weather Service office in Chanhassen gets diagnosed with COVID-19? Would there be a scenario where the entire office could possibly shut down, and what would that mean?
Well, we do have backup procedures in place. We've got our continuity of operations plan that we've had for a long time. We have backup offices at both Duluth and La Crosse. And then furthermore, we can even set it up such that really anywhere across the country can back up our office. There is a method for doing that as well. So we'll be in good shape if that scenario happens.
There are a lot of National Weather Service storm spotter training courses that are scheduled for the spring. Do you know yet? Are those going to be postponed or moved, or have you not figured that out yet?
Well, one of the things the Weather Service has done, just like so many others, is to cancel all outreach meetings or postpone them as much as we can. So whether it's meetings, Skywarn classes, presentations, those sort of things. To the extent we can do them online, we will, and many offices around the country have been doing online severe weather spotter training. There's really no substitute for in-person training because of the questions and answers that can go back and forth, but there is online training. Other offices have been doing that. We're spinning that up. We'll be doing some as well from the Chanhassen office.
Okay.
Or really, I should correct that. We'll be doing our training from one of the homes of our trainers.
Wow. So then people should keep an eye on the webpage for that, weather.gov/MPX. There's one last question I have, and it's about observational data. That is what the models that we use to forecast the weather are based on. You need to know what's happening now to know what's happening in the future. Have you noticed any impact from observational data, either being of diminished quality or there being less of it, and the way it's impacted or not impacted models?
Not at this point, and I really don't think that we will, because the models have gotten so much better over the years. They're accessing so much data coming into them. There are so many options that are available through the models that I've not noticed any changes yet, and nor would I foresee anything changing.
And just on a personal note, Todd, has this been some of the weirdest things you've ever done during work? Because it has for me.
Well, I think it's changes for all of us, and I'm sure that we'll all be doing what we can to get through this. And one of the neat things, really, with the National Weather Service is just the dedication to the mission of saving lives and property. And we've seen that in some of the other offices already with tornado warnings and flood warnings and all sorts of other things that they're doing across the country, really. So the dedication to the mission of saving lives and property is to me quite remarkable, and that's not going to change. That just speaks to the type of people that work for the Weather Service.
Well, Todd, the bottom line is business as usual for you, and for that we are eternally grateful, not just as meteorologists, but viewers and neighbors as well. So thanks for all that you do, and thanks for talking to us today.
You're welcome.